very first crochet room decor video.
My name is Janie, and today I will be showing you how to make these little mushrooms that hang from your ceiling fan. Yeah, so they're just up there. I made these when I moved into my apartment because I could not reach the ceiling fan without standing on this bed, which is not very practical, so this is my solution. And if you're just here to chill and crochet with me, welcome in! Welcome to my channel. And if you're here to learn how to make this, I will shut up and start showing you how to make it.
For today's tutorial, we're going to start by making 2 mushrooms, and then we're going to crochet a mushroom top that will incorporate part of the ceiling fan or window. And finally, you can add on some charms if you'd like to, which I highly recommend. So all you need today is a 5mm hook or smaller, which I'll leave a note about. You'll need red yarn and white yarn, preferably untangled, and one more color to attach everything together. I'll be using white for this video. To start on the top of the mushroom, the first thing we're going to do is make a magic ring. So wrap your yarn around your fingers, stick the crochet hook through the loop that you form, grab the yarn, pull it through, and then straighten your crochet hook. And then you're going to wrap the yarn around your hook and pull it through that tiny loop while pinching the base with your left hand, and then tighten everything and your magic ring is done. Next, we need to single crochet into the magic ring by sticking our hook in, pulling some yarn through, and then finishing that single crochet. We're going to do this a total of 6 times, so that was our first one, so we need to repeat this 5 more times. Now that you have 6 single crochets in your magic ring, we're going to tighten it. For row 2, we're going to do a whole row of increases, which means 2 single crochets into each stitch. So there should be a total of 12 single crochets for this row. For round 3, we're going to repeat a pattern of single crochet and then increase. So here I'm doing a single crochet, and then the next stitch we're going to put 2 single crochets into that stitch as an increase. And we're going to repeat this process of single crochet increase until we get to 18 stitches. Now we're on row 4. For this row, we're going to do 2 single crochets followed by an increase for a total of 24 stitches. So here I am doing both of the single crochets in different stitches, and then an increase, which is 2 single crochets in one stitch, and then repeating that pattern until I get to 24 stitches. Now you have something that should look like this, and we are officially done with any increases. So for the next row, all we're going to be doing is 24 single crochets all the way around, but we're going to be doing it in the back loop only. Each single crochet forms this V shape, and when we typically do a single crochet, we're inserting our hook to hold both of these loops. But for back loop only, we're going to insert our hook kind of in the middle and only picking up that back half. So once your hook picks up that back loop, we're just going to single crochet like we normally would and continue this process until we reach 24 single crochets. After you finish 24 stitches, pick up both loops of the next stitch and do a slip stitch and then chain 1. Now you should have something that looks like this. There should be almost a bend around the whole thing from your back loop only single crochets. And for the next row, we're going to do the same thing, working into the back loops, but instead of 24 stitches, we're going to do 2 single crochets and then a decrease. So here I'm inserting my hook into the back loop, doing 1 single crochet,
and then again another single crochet, and then we're going to do a decrease. So insert your hook twice to pick up 2 stitches from the last row, and then finish it off like a normal single crochet. Then repeat this pattern of 2 single crochet decrease until you reach a total of 18 stitches. A decrease counts as 1 stitch, by the way. And make sure you're doing this in the back loops only. And yeah, just repeat the 2 single crochet decrease, 2 single crochet decrease. When you get to the end of that row, we're going to tie off by inserting our hook to pick up both loops and then doing a slip stitch. Then cut your string and pull through. Now that you have something that looks like this, we're going to start on the stem. Okay, so I couldn't find the end of my yarn, so I'm just gonna cut this and hope for the best. To start your stem, you're going to make a magic ring first. Then single crochet 6 times into the magic ring like we did before. Tighten your magic ring, and then we're going to stick our hook into our first single crochet and do a slip stitch and chain 1. Then for the next round, single crochet into the back loops only 6 times. So that was row 2 that we just did, and for rows 3 through 8 we're going to single crochet 6 times normally, not back loop only, which will be a total of 36 single crochets. This part is really small, so I usually pinch the area where the magic circle is with my middle finger and my thumb, and then with each single crochet you can turn a little bit, and it's almost like you're crocheting around your finger, which I think helps make this easier. So yeah, you guys can work on those rows. I'll put on some music and meet you when you're done. Once you finish that last row, we're going to make a slip stitch and then leave a really long tail of yarn. I'd say maybe about the length of your forearm or a little longer, and cut that off. We'll be using this yarn to attach to the mushroom top and make the dots on the mushroom. Now you should have 2 ends, the one we just cut and the one from the magic ring. Stuff the yarn from the magic ring into the stem, and then get your yarn needle, and we're going to do a little bit of sewing. To attach these 2 pieces together like this, the first thing we'll do is flip our mushroom top inside out. That way we can see where we're putting our needle. Next, take your stem and line it up with the middle of the top. You're going to go into the side of your stem, wherever you want to start, and then attach it to any of these holes that make up the first row of our magic ring from the top. Since the stem is made out of 6 single crochets, and the top of our mushroom has a ring that also has 6 single crochets, those should line up, and that's where we're aiming to weave everything together. So each time you're sticking your needle into the stem, stick it into the next stitch of the magic ring row from the mushroom top. This part doesn't have to be super precise, as long as you're stitching everything together in a way so the stem is sitting in the middle, it'll all work out. Once you're done attaching everything together, it's time to add on the mushroom spots. For each one of the spots, you're going to stick your needle through and then flip to the outside of the top so you can see what's actually going to show. Then stick your needle into the mushroom top 1 row over. For the rest of the spots, you can really place them wherever you'd like, but I like to go in and place them following the circle that I chose for the first spot. And whatever you choose to do, just make sure you're checking the outside so you like the placement. Now, if you're running out of yarn during any part of this process, you can weave the end into the mushroom top so we can hide it, and then attach yarn on that side and just continue like nothing happened.
Once you've finished, you just take the yarn off your needle and flip the top inside out, and we're going to start hiding the loose ends. We're going to hide everything inside the stem, so grab onto some of the strands and then pull it through, and if there's anything like left over, you can just snip it off. We're going to do that again to grab the remaining 2 strands, the red and the white. And once everything is hidden, you can flip it right side out and you're done with your mushroom. I'll leave the instructions up, or you can rewatch the video to make one more before we move on. Pause here for the instructions. Now that you have 2 mushrooms complete, the next step is to assemble! To start attaching the mushrooms, we're going to stick our hook into the middle of the mushroom top and then weave through your chosen yarn color that will attach everything. Here I'm using white, but in my original I used brown. Then we're going to reinsert our hook and pull some yarn through and start chaining. Chain to whatever length you'd want the mushroom to hang from whatever you're attaching this to. Once you figure out what length you like, tie it off and then lift up the pole and tie a knot to the string. You might want to double knot it here just so it's as secure as possible when you're yanking on it. And then once you tie it there, place the wooden part back down and snip off the ends or hide the ends. Then we're going to do the same thing with our second mushroom, but to the other strand. The last part we're going to make is the mushroom cap that incorporates the wooden part of the pole. So we're going to start by making a magic ring. And then crochet 6 times, or single crochet 6 times into the magic ring. Make sure when you finish those single crochets you don't tighten your magic ring yet, because we still have to attach it onto the decoration. So to do that, loosen the magic ring a little bit, as far as you can, and just place our mushroom through it. You might need to squish it a bit. And then bring the magic ring all the way up on top of the wooden pole part, and then you can tighten your magic ring. Now that we have the magic ring on, the next few steps are going to be just like how we did for the other 2 mushrooms we made. The only thing is we have this like string down the middle. So first row, or second row I guess, is going to be a row full of increases, so 12 single crochets total. You can see me kind of struggling to crochet with this string down the middle. So my advice would be to kind of crochet off to the side so your hook isn't constantly at war with this string. For the next row, we're going to do a single crochet followed by an increase. So there should be a total of 18 stitches for this row. For the next row, repeat the pattern of 2 single crochets followed by an increase for a total of 24 stitches in this row. 23, 24. For the next row, we're going to do those back loop only single crochets, and there won't be any increases or anything, so there should be a total of 24 single crochets. I apologize for the angle, by the way. I know it's hard to see, but the good thing is this is the same process as the mushroom tops that we've already made. The only difference was the magic ring part, so hopefully this comes pretty easily to you guys. Now for the last bit, if you want to, you can do the last row with the 2 single crochets and the decrease, but I just skipped it in this video because I thought it was already achieving that mushroom cap look I was going for. So I'm just gonna move on and do the spots, but for a cleaner look, you should do the last row with the decrease. After you finish your last row, you're going to do your slip stitch to tie off. and then cut off any excess by either weaving it in, cutting it off, or hiding it under the mushroom top. Then we'll make the white spots just like we did for the other two mushrooms. The only thing is, in this clip I don't have my sewing needle with me, so I'm using my crochet hook, which is a little harder. But anyways, just place the spots wherever you think they should go, and afterwards, you're done. The last thing I'll show you is just the optional gems that you can add to spruce it up. Basically, you take some beads and some jump rings, and then you attach it all together, put on a jewelry clasp at the end so you can attach it to the mushroom, and then it's all sparkly and great, and your room is cute as heck. Thank you for watching! If you made it this far, you should definitely send me a picture on Instagram so I can see how it turned out for you. It would make me really happy. And also, be sure to like and subscribe and all the other things that YouTubers say at the end of videos.